Hey guys, welcome back to Demon Souls. My name is Rob. Last time we left off running around in the Prison of Hope. I'm right there to where I can challenge the boss, but there's still plenty of other things to discover in the prison. Like this gentleman over here. It's definitely somebody I want to talk to.
Magnificent. I never expected I might escape alive. My name is Frick. I am known as a sage. I thought to claim a demon soul or two for the sake of my magic. But just look at me now. I have been enfeebled by my long imprisonment. But I can still move my legs, and I can make it back to the Nexus. I thank the stars that my confinement lasts no longer. I owe you my life.
And he gives us Jerry Stiletto.
I have been enfeebled by my long imprisonment. But I can still move my legs, and I can make it back to the Nexus.
It's got like some kind of magical light in here to keep himself from being in complete darkness. He seems to have a warding spell cast on himself as well because of that aura that surrounded him. If you'll notice, there's a bloodstain here with some bones and whatnot. I'm not sure what that's implying. Maybe Sage Frake was in here with another prisoner, and the two of them got hungry, and the wise old sage decided he wasn't going to be the one who he decided to eat the guy before he'd be eaten, it would seem. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at Jerry Stiletto. Jerry's a name that's popped up a couple of times already. Has a 14 intelligence requirement, does physical and magic damage. I don't see what the crit modifier is, or if that's even listed on the stats. I'm not sure. But anyway, though this exceedingly small rapier lacks a cutting edge, it is enchanted by a unique spell, crafted by Jerry, known for his magic handicrafts, and friend to Sage Frake the Visionary. Drains a small amount of MP from targets. So, interesting. It's another NPC I want to eventually find in this area, and I'm sure it's not down there. So, I need to try and check all the floors now, every nook and cranny that I've missed, to try and figure out where this NPC is, because she's actually pretty important to the lore of this area. Huh. There's a corpse just laying around here. Don't remember seeing that before. That's interesting. Alright. I'm gonna run around, try to look for this lady. But if it takes me too terribly long, I'll just cut that part out. The voice you hear singing is coming from the person I'm looking for. And in the original Demon Souls, the singing you'd hear in the distance, I mean, this singing actually sounds kind of pretty. You know, it's not exactly, I don't think it's ominous sounding. But in the original, the singing was kind of, I wouldn't call it just like ugly. Like it wasn't sung with an ugly voice, but it was just creepy. Like it just, I don't know, it added to the weird and spooky atmosphere of this place. And even though I still think this is an awesome level, I feel like it's missing a bit of that spookiness that this level used to have. Ah, okay. Great, I went straight to her. Awesome, let me get this item first. A renowned hero's soul, and then there's another hole right here. Ooh. That was pretty quiet. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but I heard like this awful scream, like far in the distance. Like, damn, that was rough. Okay, so that was short enough. I don't think I would need to cut that out. But anyway, let's see who this is that's singing and looking honestly pretty pitiful. I don't have anything on my tool belt. You didn't get a tool belt in the original Demon Souls. Oh, I want to... How do I use it? Oh, triangle. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, she looks like she's seen better days. If this were Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2 or 3, I'd say like she's in the process of going hollow, which she may be kind of... I mean, there's sort of an equivalent process in Demon Souls to hollowing, but you just basically, you know, it's a more generic saying like the person's going mad or whatever.
You're still intact, aren't you? Where do you call home? Dear me, I shouldn't pry. Oh, perhaps you'd like something from my collection. I've known better days. I was once the wife of nobility, and I have some nice things to show for it.
Alright. She sells some full moon grass, fresh and aged spice, noble and widow's lotus, Augites of guidance, moonlight stone shards, which are good for magic reinforcement for your weapons, the rapier, which is the starting weapon of the royalty class. I wonder if it says anything about royalty. Rapiers boast great damage despite their narrow attack range, performing well against metal armor and hard scales in particular. However, they are easily parried and do little to break an enemy's guard. They also permit the wielder to attack even with a shield raise, but are better used for parrying rather than blocking when shielded in the left hand. When wielded in the left hand. I misread that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like if you have a rapier equipped in the left hand, it's saying like you should parry with it instead of block with it, obviously. The wooden catalyst, which is not the catalyst that the royalty starts with, it's the catalyst that the magician starts with. Higher magic adjust, but the silver catalyst has, I think it grants you more total MP or something like that. Let's see, wooden catalyst in most rudimentary tool for casting magic. Casting magic requires the following, blah blah. Yeah, okay, so not much lore there. Buckler, starting shield of the royalty as well. And you can buy Ring of Avarice for 50,000 souls, which allows you to obtain more souls when slaying enemies. A few different playthroughs I've done of Demon Souls on the original version. I never bought this item. It would be helpful, but it's not just absolutely necessary. And then, of course, new to the remake, you can buy the Brightwater item, which will recover your MP over time. Yeah. So, she sells some useful and interesting stuff, but nothing I feel the need to spend my souls on right away. So let's talk to her instead and see what all else she has to say to us.
Before, there were many others trapped here, but they were driven mad and ventured above of their own volition. Redemption. There exists no such thing. The Queen banished that depraved old man from the land. He returned in strange golden garb with foul demons in tow. They pillaged great Latria, land of the learned, and shut us away in this prison. Since then, they've been feeding off our souls, telling us over and over that if we go above, we will be granted redemption. I know the truth. The church goddess may die, but never for long. We are trapped below forever. Redemption. Well, that's quite all right. I wish to stay here, but I need souls to remain sane. As you know, of course.
Yeah, so some interesting backstory to this area. The boss is the goddess she speaks of, the quote-unquote goddess, who, if you'll remember last time, I killed an NPC that will heal her and revive her during the actual boss fight. It's something you definitely, kind of need to take care of before challenging the boss of this area. Once that's out of the way, it's not a terribly difficult boss. It's one of the types of bosses that can create like doppelgangers and stuff, and you just have to find the right one. Most of the bosses in Demon Souls are kind of gimmicky like that, but I don't think it's a terrible gimmick. It's not the most original idea, but it works fine. I don't mind it. It's better than fighting a boring boss like I think the perfect example that the Souls series has done would be like the Covetous Demon in Dark Souls 2, as well as plenty of other Dark Souls 2 bosses. A lot of them tend to be very just generic, and just blah, like not interesting to fight. I would rather an interesting, gimmicky boss fight than, like, I guess you'd call it a skill-based boss fight that's not interesting, personally. Something else I want to point out while I'm thinking about it, the shield I'm using, the Night Shield, I mistakenly said in an earlier video that I thought, well, I guess it wasn't a mistake that I thought this, but I was mistaken to think that it was a shield that is unique to the remake. It is not. The Night Shield is in the original version, but I looked at a picture of it, and I don't think it had quite... it didn't look as ornate from what I could tell. There's a small picture of it on like Extra Life or one of those websites. I can't remember which one exactly. Really? You're gonna be that way? I ought to stand there and like fight you, except I don't really want to. What an asshole. Anyway. So yeah. It's not unique to the remake, but the remake definitely made it look cool. I think the remake in general makes most of the things in this game look better than they were. They did a really good job on the looks of Tower of Latria, but I don't know, it's hard to put my finger on what made the original area creepier, but for some reason it is. Okay, there's a hostile NPC up there. Basically, it's an invader. There's going to be... They use a crossbow and what's called the... I wanted to say the name of the dagger this character uses is called the Baby's Nail or something like that. It's got some weird name, but it inflicts plague, which is this game's equivalent of toxic. And one thing about poison and toxic in the original Demon Souls, there's no meter above your character to tell how long it's lasting. And it lasts like, I don't know, status effects in this game last like a ridiculously long time. I want to say like 10 minutes or something. So I'm going to have to be very careful fighting this NPC because I'd rather not die if I can help it. Alright, we got a Widow's Lotus. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put... first of all, I'm going to see... Okay, I've got 5 of them, so that's plenty. I'm going to try to keep my consumption down if I get hit with plague. But anyway, let's hop on down here. Yep, there it is. And she's wearing the thief ring, which makes her harder to detect from a distance. Initially, before you do much damage, she'll try to use her crossbow more. Then the more damage you inflict on her, she becomes more aggressive, as you can see. And then is more likely to inflict plague on you. Yeah, here we go. It's about half health. I'm not sure if this NPC can parry. But looks like if you retreat enough, she'll pull a crossbow back out. Yeah. Enemy AI in this game is nothing compared to what it is in Dark Souls 3. Which, just keep in mind, even though they remade this game with the stunning graphics and everything, still they use the exact, like, it's the exact same game and how it plays and everything. So I don't know, maybe they could have improved some of the enemy AI to make things more interesting, but I don't mind it being like the original game. So you got Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, Moonlight Stone Chunk, and then I didn't see what that other item was. Black Eye Stone, there we go. Used to invade distant, disconnected worlds. So this is your red eye orb for demon souls, basically. An eye stone taken from a black phantom, an evidence of your corruption. In death you assume soul form. After dying you may use this item to invade one of the countless disconnected worlds. In other worlds you manifest as a black phantom. Defeating the host of another world will restore your corporeal form. Another thing it'll do is lower your world tendency for whatever level you invaded in, I believe. And I think it also lowers your character tendency. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, of course. I've had this item in Reddit already. I'll go ahead and put these stones back in my inventory. Man, I really love this quality of life improvement to the game where I can send items to the bottomless box or stockpile Thomas from the level. I mean, some people might argue that kind of takes some of the immersion away, but that I don't mind. I like things that make my life easier. And I have 3 stocks. I don't know why I have 3 stocks, but I'll go ahead and hold on to 1 because, I don't know, it might come in handy. I'm not sure if you can upgrade the stock via the crushing weapon upgrade path. I'm really not sure, but that's something to keep in mind. And I got a kite shield at some point. That's pretty basic looking, but I like that dragon design on it. What does it say? A medium-sized metal shield issued to knights of the relatively advanced region of Boletaria South. The yellow dragon crest signifies knights of low rank. Okay, so that was on the corpse where I found the knight armor. Yeah. Cool. I don't think I read the Imperial Spy set. Let me read this mask. And just looking at the picture of it, it reminds me an awful lot of the hood and the little golden mask that Strayed of Ulafis is wearing in Dark Souls 2. Which he's one of the coolest NPCs in the entire series, so I'm all about that. A light cloth hood fit for swiftly carrying out assassinations. Lurking in the shadows, covert operations were carried out directly under the king's order. Victims would seldom see the rogues before it is too late. Yeah, the whole rogue set looks pretty cool. I like how it looks with the combination of the wizard's clothes. Alright, so before I head in here, let me see what rings do I want to use. The thief ring isn't really going to help me in this fight. Don't want that because the boss uses magic power. Yeah, I'll just leave it how it is. I don't really have any rings that would necessarily help me out too much in this fight. I don't need that. I'll go ahead and throw on Half Moon Grass and Late Moon. And that's probably fine. Not a terribly difficult boss. You just walk up to the doors of the cathedral and they swing open by themselves, revealing the fog gate. There's a couple of random corpses here. Perhaps they were seeking redemption, but fell to the hands of that phantom that was standing there guarding this boss. very Western-esque religious imagery. And then we have something descending that almost looks like a Hindu goddess of some sort. Alright, so the boss is way over on the other side of the room. You have this entire sanctuary here with these regular, like, Dregling guys that they will not aggro on you unless you attack the boss. Once you've attacked the boss, they'll turn on you. So you can either take them out now, or you can kind of use them to your advantage, because this room also has traps on the floor. Back to square one again? This is never ending. Yeah, the traps kind of just stun you. They damage you a little bit from what I remember. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these guys out because they will get in the way. And I don't really need them to step on the floor to show me where the traps are, because pretty much if you stay over to the right of the room, you'll avoid the vast majority of the traps. I'm not sure exactly how many of them are close to this area, but... Okay, it's like she cast magic and then I didn't see it, so I don't know what was going on there. And she warps around, and then there are doppelgangers. The baby's nail, there's the dagger that inflicts toxic. Yeah, one of them stepped on the trap, forms like this glyph on the ground. And basically, there's a couple of different ways you can tell which one is the real one or not. If you damage them, and it damages the health bar at the bottom, you're striking the real one. If the doppelganger, or you'll know it's a doppelganger if you strike her, and instead of damaging the health bar at the bottom, you're damaging like its own health bar. And also, one other way that you can tell it's the real one, then instead of casting like Soul Arrow, it'll be Soul Ray. See, it's obviously a fake there. Let's see, let me try not to step on a glyph here. I think I just figured out where the fake is at, or where the real one's at. That one right there. Yeah, that's the one. One that just did a lot more damage. For me, it's harder to tell the difference between Soul Ray and the Soul Arrow spell in this game. Ooh, stepped on the glyph, which has like what appears to be the Star of David from the Jewish religion. Interesting that they would use that. I don't know what that significance of that is, but whatever. Ah! Ow. Okay. Getting my ass beat here. Okay, you're not it. I'm pretty sure, but I'll go ahead and hit you, so maybe you'll disappear. Let's see, which one of these is shooting bigger laser beams? That one looked pretty big. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the real one. Ow. Yep. You're it. There we go. Easy ball. Demon vanquished. You shall obtain the demon's soul and a power beyond human imagination. Out of all the cathedrals in the different Souls games, this one probably... I mean, not just in the remake, but... like, the overall setup of it, it looks the most like an actual Catholic cathedral. Actually looks really cool. Let's see here. Oh, triangle. There we go. So the lady in the middle, I'm thinking, is supposed to be the goddess that they're worshiping and giving veneration here. The Fool's Idol. I don't know who the two are on either side, but it makes me wonder if perhaps those two older men on either side are the characters who end up becoming the next boss of this area, the Man-Eaters. That's interesting. Wow, so I'm back in human form, and you can see just how cool this armor set is looking. It's a shame that you can't really see this level of detail on yourself in soul form. And if I weren't trying to manipulate world tendency, I would pretty much stay in human form just for the look of the character. The candles over here to the side, that is something you'll see. I mean, it's similar, but different. In a Catholic church, you may see something similar to this, usually just below a statue of Mary, or a statue of, I'm not sure, they might have statues of St. Joseph with candles as well. And basically, you know, you light a candle, you offer up a prayer. There's that sort of idea behind it. Yeah, this thing, let me get a close-up of that. This thing that's holding the candles, that's the sort of thing that you'll see. And in different cathedrals I've been in, like in Washington, D.C., where they actually have really big cathedrals, you'll have a thing like this where you can, basically donate a couple of dollars or whatever that's given. It's like a poor box. It's given to the homeless because there's definitely a ton of homeless in that area. And yeah, you light up a candle. They'll usually have like a kneeler in front somewhere where you can kneel and just kind of pray for a bit. Wait a minute. How do I... Whatever. And another thing I was going to point out, the setup, which most of them have been destroyed, but the chairs set up in the back behind the pews. That is something you'll see in a Catholic church a lot too. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw it in like some Anglican churches as well. It's a dude back here in the corner dressed in the wizard's garb. Huh. What's he wearing on his head, if anything? It's covered in flies. So he's not wearing the headpiece that the royals would wear, but he is wearing those clothing. Obviously decaying body because flies are buzzing all around him. I don't remember if that was in the original Demon Souls or not. Huh. Y'all just bear with me here. I'm like just taking in everything in the environment because honestly, there's just so much. Like Blue Point, y'all did such a good job. They'll probably never see this video and hear me say that, but I mean, just wow. What do we have here? Books upside down. The writing is indecipherable for me. You'd have to like get it on a computer and like blow it up or something. Have like a golden goblet, rolled up scrolls. I wish I could move around with the telescope equipped to actually see what I was looking at. Let's see. Can't see a title on this book. And still can't read any of that writing. It may not even be writing. Not sure. But by the look of it, I mean, that could be different places in Boletaria. Or it could be places in Latria that aren't necessarily featured in the game. I don't know. I guess I could use photo mode to get closer to it. Yeah, let's see here. How do I... This tricky control here. Even the table's like super ornate. Yep. Keep on. Eh. Whatever. Stained glass. I love stained glass. This particular, like where you walk up to the altar here, this actually reminds me of a really pretty cathedral in Lafayette, Louisiana that I've been in that has like some of the best stained glass I've ever seen, as well as iconography, which I haven't seen iconography in a FromSoft game in any of the churches or cathedrals, which I'm not surprised at because that's more of an Eastern tradition than it is Western. And the churches and things in the FromSoft games are usually emulating like Western style religion or Christianity specifically. But an icon is basically like a think of it as a mural, but not like the murals you see from typical like old Catholic stuff, or even some things you'd see in some Protestant churches. If you research any of the Eastern Catholic or Eastern Orthodox churches and you look up what their icons look like, it's like all like kind of ancient Grecian drawings and depictions of like Jesus, obviously, and Mary and the saints and all that. It's just an interesting distinction. But certain Western Catholic churches also have icons as well as statues, and that's always really, really pretty. Okay, enough of me nerding out about cathedrals and stuff. Oh, I say that, and then I'm like looking at this altar, wondering what any of it means. But you step close enough to it, and a familiar scene is going to play out before our eyes. It's not a boss fight. We've seen this scene play out in Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3. But did you know it originated in Demon Souls? The only thing is, they carry you a much shorter distance. They just carry you up a bit. Was there an item down here? No? Okay. Well, anywho, let me not fall down here. I don't want my world tendency to go down. Even though I can't think of any world tendency events that I really care that much to do in the Tower of Latria. I'm sure there are events that I probably just don't know about. Well, anyway, we get the doll demon soul. Upper Latria. Archstone of the Fool's Idol Demon. A church devoted to an idol that mimicked the queen gave the prisoners a ray of hope, but no doubt a deep malice awaited them, poised to mercilessly dash what faint dreams they had. I don't think I've read the Nexus description. This sacred space, which holds together the northern land of Boletaria, connects to all other archstones across the earth. The old one is contained inside the Nexus, where the monumental awaits the slayer of demons. Well, let's go back and level up a bit. Alright. There's old Patches. Looking kinda sus. Looking kinda stupid, to be honest. And then the maiden in black is just kinda sitting down here like she was waiting on us to come back.
Well, we've long been acquainted.
I didn't want to talk to you.
Price, eh? Well, do as you please.
I'm trying to talk to the maiden in black, thank you very much.
Thou seekest the power of the soul, no? Then touch the demon inside me.
That saying from Dark Souls 3 from the Firekeeper, touch the darkness within me, touch the demon inside me. It all goes back to Demon Souls.
Soul of the mind,
Man,
come
so
to
what do
icy
I want to
ether.
level up now? I forgot that I leveled my
Soul of
endurance
the
all the way up to
lost,
20.
withdrawn from its
Most
vessel.
likely gonna stop there.
Let strength be granted so the world might be mended.
I'm conflicted
So the world might be
about where I
mended.
want to go with this build. I mean, for a bit, I thought, I really want to do the Dragon Bone Smasher, but the more I think about it, I kinda also really want to do the Meat Cleaver. But I can't really make a build that'll use both of those weapons really well. So I'm kind of going to have to make up my mind about this. For now, though, I don't have enough strength for either weapon, so I'm going to continue to level strength. I'll probably... I'll do 22 strength and 17 vitality. That'll be fine. Because I would need a minimum of 30 strength to one-hand the Dragon Bone Smasher, and a minimum of 26 to one-hand the Meat Cleaver. They're like two of the best weapons in the game, though, so I really can't go wrong with either one.
Myself, I'm only here to tend to each flame. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave. Art thou finished? May thy strength help the world be mended.
I remember in the original version she had an even thicker accent. Oh, I just kind of found it funny. May strength be granted so the world might be mended. What do you have to say, old crusty crestfallen?
What? You again? The pious lot and the magicians in the Nexus despise one another. Did you notice? They never sit in sight of each other. The fools. What good comes of childish rivalries? We are all prisoners here. The fools.
Yeah. Got all the pagans on this side of the room and all the Catholics way over there. Alright, so we freed Sage Frake, the Visionary. Let's see what his pompous little servant has to
What do
say.
you want, brute? I have no use for addlepates like yourself. Away with you.
Man, ordinarily he'll at least say thank you for rescuing Sage Frake, like if you have enough intelligence to buy spells from him, but he's not even grateful to somebody that doesn't have enough intelligence to use spells or whatever. This guy's a prick. I'll always favor the clerics over freaking asshole sorcerers any day.
Hello. You assisted me in Latria. For that I thank you. But at my age, I do not believe that I can be of help to you. But at my age...
Yeah. So he's definitely not going to offer to teach me any magic. Think of Sage Frake as this game's Big Hat Logan, except he's going to stay there for the rest of the game. He's not going to go to a dragon mansion, take off all of his clothes, and go crazy. That would be pretty funny if he did. Alright. Let's see what you people have to say now.
My grandfather had unusual tastes.
Did he eat potted meat?
He often visited Snowfang Mine, where he collected rocks of all shapes and sizes. Most of them had no value. But among them, he found a miracle stone shard, which he gave to me. Could this too Be a sign from God.
Oh.
And among them, he found a miracle stone shard. Could this too be a sign from...
Okay then. What about this guy that basically wants to stand there and flagellate himself, but then he's too much of a chicken to do it?
Oh, August One, I
Oh,
hesitate to
August
imagine
One.
your present state. Deep within the darkness, will you continue to pray?
Oh, bowl cut.
Oh, fellow disciple, you seek the power of God?
What miracles can I learn? Evacuate would be useful, but that is a lot of souls. Nah.
A miracle is a heavenly act. They have some magicians in the end. I see. I pray we meet again.
Alright. Trying to think what I want to do next. But this is a decent enough stopping place. I haven't recorded like too terribly long of a video, but I think this will do it. Got to see a boss fight and got to see me geek out over a cathedral and try and find more lore on the Tower of Latria. One other thing, bit of just an interesting observation I'll add to that. The word Latria. That's another word that you'll find used in like Catholic religion and stuff like that. Not so much so in other sects of Christianity, though there are some that use it. The Catholic Church is the one that is most notable for it. And basically, Latria, in a nutshell, is supposed to be like the love that you would give to God alone as opposed to like anyone else. And it's like the highest form of love that you can give to someone. It's like the type of love where you worship somebody. So, the fact that that area is called the Tower of Latria, and within it is the Prison of Hope, that's kind of, I don't know, that's pretty dark, in my humble opinion. uh, so, that's going to do it for this part. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with more Demon Souls. Till then, y'all take care.